So we had the latest edition of From Russia with Love 5, which appears some of you are still trying to catch up on. We've done quite a number of lengthy must-listen-to shows recently in the past month or so. And that piece brought new names into the picture, created more patterns and connected many more dots. By now, the people who have listened and absorbed all 5, you will have now realised who is the main driver of much of what has gone wrong with humanity and the planet. Their symbols and their hidden codes are now being stripped bare by not only my show but many in the alt media. You found out that some you thought were human were clearly not. All be hidden behind a program of religiosity whose life longevity superseded ours by many, many years. And again, the common theme now of Born of a Virgin, almost as common as the rogue modern-day elements of Born in New York, born to Jewish parents. Rituals and holy days, shredded by misdirected sayings, shredded by mistranslations or by hidden code, but also is hidden in plain sight, thinking we would all be too stupid to not look and or interpret it. That show shredded the Melchizedek nonsense, that anyone with a rational mind would see through it clearly, but the religious and New Age mindset is not their own. That's the problem, and has been clearly manipulated beyond the level of common sense. We heard in greater depth about the Kalergi plan, which many have read, but perhaps many were not grasping the full depth of it. What followed after that was their plan, which GoOgle and other search engines, blogs and websites and mainstream media have gone to much great length to deny its existence. Methinks they doth protest too much, which signifies it does have a real component to it, which it does. The secret covenant came out of the protocols of Zion. It was staggeringly brutal, cold and totally arrogant, and indicative of those who followed the Talmud to the letter. Non-Hebrews are there to be killed, poisoned and slow murdered at their behest. But there was a piece at the end of that manifesto that all should take on board, of how they are feeling. It's described in one word: fear. And the piece of, quote, should they find out who we really are, unquote. It said it all. And with my series, those anti-life cockroaches are now being unveiled for many more to see. The show then drifted into Hebrew terms and its moon cult traditions, coupled with the real meaning of certain celebrations. And then we went on to the Mormon world of temples, pedestry, and a whole religion based on some alleged Egyptian plates who hardly anyone saw or verified, and their worship of all things temple and the cult of Ra. We found proof of the Kali Ma descendants from India to America and mixing with the indigenous peoples of America. Then we dipped into the word magic and their hidden meanings and intentions, of how ethnic cleansing actually means deleting all the goyim. How a married woman is named Beulah and actually means you are married to Baal. We went into the modern day rise of Zionism and all their plans of taking over and destroying nations. New York's role in it all and their obsession with all things Egypt, including the Cleopatra Needle in Central Park and the message contained upon it. And the show ended on an exposure of AIPAC, which is American Israel Public Affairs Committee. Personally, I have no idea why they mention the term American in their name, as there is nothing American about it, except how they use, abuse, cheat, harass, use fear programs, and have most politicians dancing to the tune of the bar mitzvah. These people control our policy, both foreign and domestic, and have done everything to divert American funds and people into harm's way for a fake country that has no historical merit. None. Except in fake books. Those fake books that no one on this planet can actually verify. Period. A book that's riddled in contradictions, hypocrisy beyond reason, crimes and description that defies all logic and rational thinking. But you tell that to the religious people. They will react badly. The fact that they react badly is suggestive on a psychological level that they are not sure themselves. It's that projection again. Because people who are comfortable in themselves and their truth do not react so aggressively. The answer, as always, lies within. Something many refuse to do as they think there is no external reward for doing so. But for those who observe, not see, and sense, not feel, those rewards are visible and obvious. The eyes often give it away. The window to the soul. People's eyes can light up and people's eyes can go black. I was on a call not so long back, and I was shocked at the change of one person in the space of a few months. Their eyes were filled with dark and indicative of a person going badly off track, going along with the flow can sometimes lead to wrong paths and a retrograde movement of the self. It's very hard to elevate oneself, but all too easy to deflate oneself. And it's a word of caution of who you engage and how you operate, because it must always be monitored. So I hope you enjoyed part 5. Part 6 is on the way, and it's not as detailed and probably as interesting, maybe it is, who knows, as some of the others. But it connects more of the dots of his story and its fake narrative, but heads in deeper as to who are the main players of this cult now.